Alright, now for the news for 7th of May 2020. So we got quite a lot because I didn't do much on the other day, so this is sort of buffered up a couple of days. But it might be me talking pretty quick this time around, but yeah, go for it. So they're also a bit out of order, so we got some ones that are from recent that have just come out. So Mortal Kombat 11 is adding some DLC, extra content. We've got the Aftermath, which is extending the story, it seems, and it's adding Fusion, Shiva, RoboCop, and a new cinematic story. So they've got a trailer up. I honestly haven't been following 11 at all, so I was surprised to see that Liu Kang is a god now. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I also like Raiden is like not a god, so I guess maybe they transfer powers. I don't know, but more 80s sort of nostalgia being thrown in for NetherRealm games. Next is Last of Us 2's story trailer dropped, so it's got more stuff in it. So if you're a Last of Us 2 fan, you probably will enjoy this. It's surprising that they have to push forward with all the leak stuff. Apparently everyone, like, there's multiple sources saying that the original leaks were not from internal. They're like there's a lot of BS going around, and I think half-truths and stuff like that. So who knows what's happening with Last of Us 2's actual like leak situation, but at least they'll start pushing forward the trailer because they don't want more shit leaked, I would imagine. Ghost Runner PC demos now. I kind of want to play this game. If you haven't seen this game, go check it out. It looks pretty cool. It very much is like, it's like if you were Genji from Overwatch in a cyberpunk universe, and kind of with some sort of vanquish movement. So I'm interested to see how that plays. Maybe I can check it out and stream sometime. But yeah. More fighting game stuff. Dragon Ball Fighters will get Ultra Instinct Goku DLC. So Ultra Instinct is the stupid, crazy final thing that Goku does at the end of Super for now. I'm not surprised that this stuff is being added. Super is so stupid popular. Kefla was the one before that. Now it's him. So it's like they've got a lot of characters in that game. So if you like Super, I guess you will enjoy that character. So there's two actual, I'll have to try and find the other one. So there's two sets of like leaked things from games, cancelled or in development games. So Prince of Persia Redemption 2012 is a game that didn't see the light of day, but it looks like some screenshots and footage has come out. So if you are interested in what that could have been, I mean, just looking at this, it looks very grungy, and I don't know, this doesn't look like the style I would want Prince of Persia to go in anyway, but I'll check it out later and see if it was actually any interesting. Where's the other one? Here we go. So this was a big one in a sense. So Lord of the Rings Gollum was a game that was announced a while ago, and it sort of went underground, and like we didn't really get any details about it. It looks like some art and some pre-rendered scenes and things have come out, and it looks like a very cartoony Mordor. It looks, yeah, but it's the game is assumably still in development, but it's that thing of like, we have no idea if it'll ever see the light of day either. I still think it's a weird choice for a game. Here's Gollum if you haven't actually seen him. But you see what I mean. It's got a lot more like a cartoony, softer look to it for a Lord of the Rings game. Thanks, Armin. Do you know what's weird? Again, I think there must be something wrong with my Steamlabs API, maybe. Oh, maybe that's what I just had a thought of something I can try after stream. Maybe there's some caching issues, but maybe that could be a resolution. So, might explain why also my stickers and things are not working. So we are starting to get news about the summer of games. There is a second piece of news I'll try and find. I think it's this one. Yeah, so we have the summer of games, and there looks like the first lot of lineup stuff is the Upload VR showcase. So it looks like they're going to do a whole heap of VR games. Reveals new titles after the fall, Pistol Whip budget cuts too. So I'd imagine there's some interesting things there. I'm not a huge VR person. I don't have a VR headset, so I will probably watch this from a distance. But who knows? If some of this stuff is done live, I might do some announcements live, which would be fun. But yeah. And do a sit and watch. Summer Game Fest 2020. So it looks like they're going to do a surprise game reveal for the start of it. So they're going to kick it off pretty heavily. They've also got the schedule down here, which is nice. So that's May 12th. So we basically, news is going to ramp up again. It sort of went in a lull, but now we're going to have it ramp up again and probably pretty heavily soon. So it looks like the schedule is May 7th is the Xbox stuff, which is today. So it'll probably be American. Yeah, it's an American time. So that'll probably be tomorrow or late tonight for me that I'll get that news, and maybe we can talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, actually, I kind of want to talk about it. Hang on, what's that? Let's have a look at what 1 a.m. ET. Or Australian time. It's 3 p.m. So we could do that. We could do a 3 p.m. stream and watch the Xbox reveal. I'm pretty excited. Let's watch some Xbox. Then Sunrise, that's that game reveal. Got Steam Game Festival is June 9th. That's a pretty big gap. Look at that gap. May 12th to June 9th. I reckon they probably will fill this up. I can't imagine just be that to that. Cyberpunk 2020. We have EA Play Live 2020. TennoCon 2020. Warframe. Gamescom opening night live. Oh, okay, so here's the Gamescom stuff. Yeah, so it looks like this needs to be filled out. This looks like it's still pretty bare bones on what they're actually going to do, but maybe that's actually what it is. I don't know. Okay, here's a weird one. LCD Dream Emulator. If you know anything about this game, it's a very old Japanese, weird, psychedelic game. It didn't have an English translator, and it seemingly got an English translation for some reason finally. I mean, I didn't think there was a lot of dialogue. I watched Vinny play through it, and I was like pretty happy just watching it from a distance. So cool. If you're interested in weird ass games, go check out this. It's now in English. I don't know how easy it is to run, but this was a big piece of news. So I missed this the last time. So massive Nintendo leak reveals the Wii code, N64 demos, and early Pokemon designs. So this is considered the biggest leak Nintendo has ever had in terms of just source code and details. I don't know, there's no confirmation as to what the source was, but it's okay. A lot of people, it's that funny thing, it's like this will not do any damage to Nintendo, really. Source code is something that people have reverse engineered already for both the Wii and the N64 for mostly. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that changes the emulated landscape. The Wii and the N64 on Switch, I have no idea. Like, the fact that this code was accessible seems odd. It means that it was put in a place that someone who wanted to do malicious intent must have got their hands on it. But no idea what that means. It could mean that we might be seeing... I mean, N64 and certainly could be the next for the Nintendo... whatchamacallit? What is that thing called? Basically the emulator that's on the Switch. I could imagine that we might see more games once they finished up the... once they finish with the SNES ones, but I feel like there's so many SNES titles they might be doing it for a while, or even the GameCube. I don't know. The GameCube might take a while. Like the GameCube and the Wii's code are quite particular. It's quite a change from how the N64 was, so I would imagine they work on the N64 first for quite some time. But yeah, really big leak. Probably we'll see some change in the landscape of like the emulators. Don't know if it means that it'll be anything to do with further stuff for actual Nintendo, but those dudes are probably going to get hunted down though. This was a weird piece of news. Okay, so 7 Remake Part 2 is still in the conceptual planning stage. So there is some spoiler stuff here that I probably won't really cover. But basically, it's if the game is still in a conceptual state, and the game ended the way it was, which is very bizarre out there in terms of what they could do with the plot, it makes sense they're probably having difficulty planning it. But it's disappointing because that means they worked 7 Remake up to the end point of going gold, and then they also may be doing extra tweaks and changes and patches and stuff like that. So hopefully we see some post-game. Well, not post-game, but we see some post-release content fixes and stuff like that, or maybe some changes. But yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a disappointing thing to hear at the same time, because you would hope they would have reached a bit beyond conceptual for a game that they just released. Yeah. Oh, this is a fun one. Animal Crossing duplication trick. So this is not really news. This is just like a PSA. You can get duplication glitches with 2x1 items, and it's quite easy to do. I've watched a couple of footage things on how to do it. So if you want to just make easy money, there's a way to do it here. So just look up the 2x1 duplication glitch, you'll probably find it. I won't put the details out there, but yeah. You got 4 wolf villagers now? Oh, nice. So when one leaves, they'll come to me. Yeah, it is funny because it is that thing of like my avatar really is just constantly concerned. Alright. So PewDiePie signs an exclusivity deal with YouTube. So this one makes sense. He's massive on YouTube. He has a decent following on Twitch. I think this is a good thing in terms of Twitch competitiveness. Like, Twitch probably are not happy about this, but YouTube probably spent a stupid amount of money on this. But it's fine, because most people who stream on YouTube probably don't need to compete with PewDiePie, because the fact that it's a platform that already stacks on people that are up the top. It doesn't have really good search functionality for live content producers who are small. So this is until YouTube wants to fix their shit around all this stuff, this is just sort of something that happens, but like whatever. EA goes forward with a digital event in early June, which probably lines up with that stuff we saw in terms of the Summer of Games. So they're probably going to be trying to do... Yeah, it's pretty much just what I just said. So probably some EA news coming up. Not really excited for anything from EA personally myself at the moment, but yeah. This one's cool. Like a Dragon from Yakuza appears on Steam's listings. Now, we didn't think this one would be coming to Steam for some while, but it looks like it might be coming soon. I haven't played this one yet. This is the RPG one. Bit of a removal from the action combat that previous games have had. Looks very goofy. This looks like a particularly goofy Yakuza, but I want to know more about it. I've tried to avoid looking into this a lot because I want to play it myself, but yeah. If you missed our coverage about the game, here. I like that. So Japan's Sero game ratings board is reopening. So we talked about this a little while ago that Sero, which does all the ratings for Japan, was closed down for the COVID stuff. It might impact release titles and just Japanese games in general being getting out there. But it looks like they're looking to open up fairly soon. It says May 7th, so I guess tonight or tomorrow or today for me. But yeah, so I would imagine not much would have been impacted by this, hopefully. Again, people's safety comes first, it's fine. It's just it would be a little frustrating for companies and stuff like that were trying to buffer up against certain release windows and stuff like that. So this is a pretty quiet time in terms of releases, so it's not the worst thing in the world that they missed this. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night gets a randomizer and Zangetsu to play. He's one of the villains, big pseudo villains in the game. Looks cool. I am excited to play that. I really liked Bloodstained. If you love Castlevania, this game really did a very good job being a Castlevania. I mean, was made by the man who made Castlevania, so yeah. Okay. I laughed when I saw this one quite well. So, Billy Mitchell is suing Twin Galaxies over disqualified Donkey Kong scores. Oh boy. So, Billy Mitchell, record holder for Donkey Kong for a very, 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 very long time. Lots of things about him. There was like documentaries about him. He's very infamous. Bit of a jackass. He's quite notable in terms of people giving he's just kind of a shit person. But seemingly it came out that he had cheated his scores, and there was all that stuff, big hoo-ha, suing, blah blah blah. Basically, if he can sue you, he's going to try. But you have Twin Galaxies disqualified Donkey Kong scores for him. Twin Galaxies being the big one for like old retro score stuff. And now it's seemingly he's going to try and sue them, which is ridiculous. So this story looks like it's going to progress a little bit further. It'll be ironic if he makes money off this, because that's what you do when you put yourself out there, but yeah. good luck with that, Billy. Foregone, a 2D action platformer, which is made by the people who made Dead Cells. It's coming out on October 5th. It's pretty cool. I watched the trailer. It pretty much just looks like Dead Cells. It really, really does look like Dead Cells. I probably could have played some footage today. I mean, I've been trying to be really quick and snappy on the news today, because I had quite a lot. But so yeah, it looks like Dead Cells. I am excited to see more about that game. I don't think it's a roguelike this time, but it looks cool. This one's a big piece of news. So this one's one of those things where it's like other people probably see this and it's like it's not that big of a deal. But this is really, really big in terms of so people that develop games for that are not a AAA company. So these aren't people who are getting priority. Epic updates the Unreal Engine to support the next-gen development. So there already was, you can already develop for those platforms, especially if you have a dev kit. But these particular things allow you to make, well, it says there, in further optimizations and certificates and stuff. So it means that they can make specifically for it now. So it's not just making it for with the intention of you're making it specifically for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. So that means that just indies can start on it. It means that people don't have contracts with them. Like you can just start making and then you can pitch them to publishers and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I think that we really are very, very, very close to seeing raw footage of what the next generation is. So yeah. Next up, we have secure online mod adds co-op and PvP on PCs. So I'll be honest, I'm so used to particular IPs from FromSoft just being on the PlayStation. I forgot that Sekiro was on the PC. I played it on the PS4. And it's adding co-op and PvP is pretty cool. I wonder how jank this is. I kind of want to check this out. Let's maybe watch some footage. I haven't seen this, so it makes you glow similar to what you do in a Souls game. It looks like. Spirit of Grace. But I have no idea, like network setup they've got, if this is online or like, because it'll need a netcode and stuff like that. So looks alright right now. Little, like you can see little bits and pieces because Sekiro is very like quick paced and it's very parry heavy. Oh look, they just die by falling down and then it fades out. That's funny. Is that that's an enemy? Because Sekiro only like has one outfit, you don't change how he looks. Like everyone will look the same, I would imagine. But it's a pretty good step. There's a lot of stuff with the mods for Sekiro that are pretty impressive, but yeah. I'm interested to see how that goes. If it got really, really good, I might end up getting Sekiro on the PC, but I kind of doubt it. Alright. Which isn't much of a news. It's one of those news for news sake. So Cyberpunk. I didn't grab the other Cyberpunk article. Okay, I'll talk about it after I've talked about this. The Cyberpunk news is set for June 11th, 2020, which is coming up in a month. And again, it feels like it lines up with the Summer of Games, but it looks like they're just doing it on their own. It feels like they're probably... Or was this part of the summer? Maybe it is meant to be part of the Summer of Games. I've actually forgotten, but that'll be interesting to see more footage of it. That game is looking very impressive. I hope that it stays on track. Now, I haven't got the article, but apparently there is an article about... they came out and talked about... No, they didn't come out. Basically, it was confirmed by ESRB of customizable genitalia, apparently. We don't know what extent that is, but it looks like you're going to see your character naked, and you get to make sure you choose what it looks like naked, I guess. This is a game aimed at an adult audience, for sure, but that is a bit of a weird thing to do. So you can cyber up and customize your naked body as much as you want. And the last bit of news for the day. So this is not really a big deal, but Animal Crossing Pocket Camp enjoys the halo effect from New Horizons. So Pocket Camp was doing alright. It was an okay game. It was a bit lackluster. I played it for a bit, quite a while back. Australia got it before everyone else. I think Japan did as well. But yeah, we got to try it, and it was okay. I played it a decent amount. I didn't put really any. I think I put a little bit of money into it, but like, it made some extreme earnings. It seems from New Horizons coming out, and that kind of just happens. I mean, that's why it's called the Halo effect. But it's like, really, I would imagine that this game doesn't have much more left in it. Like, I can't imagine them doing anything that's like going to make it get any more development than what it's getting currently, and you might just see it start to taper off as they put more effort into New Horizons, so if it hasn't already. But yeah, interesting. So that's the news for today. So today we're going to play a bit of FF7, not remake. We'll play the original FF7 just to get through the original Midgar section. So I'm keen for that, and I've got a bit of a setup. So basically we're going to do just the opening bit, get to a save point, and then we will switch on over to a save file just to make us get through as quick as possible, because everyone's played 7. I've maxed out characters a million times before. I'm not going to do it again, so I just went and grabbed a maxed out file, or created a maxed out file just so we can get through combat quicker. Really, we just want to see the story beats and stuff like that, and talk about like the comparisons between remake and 7 and how some of the pacing is and blah blah blah. And also who dies when and where, because that's also important. And yeah, so I think we'll switch over to 7. So thanks for watching news. I'll be back shortly.